Welcome back to Fargonauts. I've just been talking with my boys, Eric and Wilson.
Yeah.
Hello, I am Boy.
It's high time, boys, we do a Star Wars movie tier list. Okay?
Oh, shit.
We haven't done one of these. And I think it's we're going to make the Fargonauts generated one. So it's not like your guys's. We're gonna talk about all the films, and I even included like Rogue One, the Clone Wars movie that came out, like the animated Clone Wars, and Solo.
I haven't seen the animated Clone Wars movie.
Okay, Bracho, have you?
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so have I.
Yes.
So we can both judge on that one. But every other one you guys have seen, like Rogue One and Solo.
Yeah, every other one I've seen.
Okay, good. So we can go from there. And I don't know if you guys can see my Photoshop.
Yes. It's great.
My list. This is just a we can adjust this as we go along. But do you like the tier ranks?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
I think it's great.
Okay. Sweet. Okay. Pure Pottery is the S tier. Chosen One is A, so we'd like it. Padawan is getting kind of mid. Sand, we all know, don't like it.
Sand's bad.
And Jar Jar is just like its own list, like its own thing. It's an own entity that should just exist by itself somewhere else.
Yep.
So I'd say maybe Sand is like the main one that was like, well, I didn't like it, and Jar Jar's kind of like the one that's maybe just way too bizarre and
Trash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Last Jedi.
So we'll get there.
Let's start at the top left and just work our way down.
We have
just work our way through to.
Yeah, we got to work our way through it.
Okay.
We have Episode 1, the Phantom Menace.
I'd put that. Me personally.
Yeah, what do you think?
I would Padawan that.
Padawan that.
I feel like I agree with that.
I would say Chosen One or Padawan for me. But since you guys think Padawan, I can live with Padawan.
I think for now, because we can always reconfigure stuff. I think for now, placing it in Padawan feels the best to me, because it's going to be like, as of right now, I have no frame of reference to elevate it or put it down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
And it's good enough that it can live in the middle, but I don't need to put it anywhere else.
I think it's Chosen One because it has
a
lot of elements of like Qui-Gon talking about the Chosen One, and there's great the Duel of Fates is like a catalyst.
So it's on one end, yes, Darth Maul, Duel of Fates. On the other end, Jake Lloyd. So
and mostly Jar Jar.
And Jar Jar, yeah.
But yeah, I can live with it. I can live with Padawan for right now. But yeah,
and it may move. We don't know.
It might move.
Yeah, who knows? But for right now, I think just settling it there is fine.
All right, now we have episode
2.
Dos. Attack
Sand.
of the Clones. Sand, you think?
Yeah. Well,
if not, it's somewhere between Padawan and Sand.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, I feel like also just laying that in Padawan for now is okay with me.
Yeah,
I feel confident that it will move in the future.
We've talked about elements of it that we kind of like the Jedi doing a detective, Obi-Wan doing his detective stuff. But
there's plenty that I like about it, and
it's
I think
so weird with the juxtaposition of the love story that fell flat. So I would say Sand or Padawan too.
I think that we'll
Sandawan right now.
We'll dig into some specifics later, but
cool. This is going to be the definitive Fargonauts Star Wars tier list for all preceding Star Wars. Well, we'll update it as new Star Wars films come out, in the future and things like that.
Right.
But
yeah.
Episode 3, I would say Pure Pottery for me.
I'm a Chosen One it.
I'm gonna say Chosen One, yeah.
Chosen One?
I definitely feel like it is good and it should be elevated a little bit, but I don't want to put it in Pure Pottery because that is reserved for what I feel should be lauded as the best of the best.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we can certainly move it there later on, but for right now, we can at least put it at, we know that it is like good, like above, one step above.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, we're moving on. Episode 4, A New Hope. Or Star Wars.
Chosen won that?
Yeah.
Chosen won it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think it's got to live there for now, because
it's close, but it's not quite there.
Yeah, it might end up living in pure pottery, but
yeah,
if it doesn't get there, it absolutely has a home in Chosen One.
Yeah.
All right, 6 or no,
pure
5,
pottery.
5.
Pure pottery.
I'm gonna say that's pure fucking pottery, dude.
It's the purest pottery, dude.
Pure pottery.
Purest pottery there is.
It is great.
None of these is without their flaws or without like things that would put them in a lower category, but this one has the most things that move it up into pure pottery for me.
Sure.
There's a reason why it's the generic answer for best Star Wars movie. You know.
Yeah. All right, now we have Jedi, Return of the Jedi.
See, this one's tough. A little bit.
I also
I would between Padawan and Chosen One.
Chosen Padawan?
Personally, for me, it lives in pure one or pure Chosen, like between those two. Okay. But I'm okay with it living between Chosen and Padawan as well.
I can if you want, if you're pure Chosen and I'm Padawan Chosen, let's just put it Chosen.
I was gonna say for now, let's just stick it in Chosen, and it will probably move one. I think that's gonna be one that moves. I don't know.
I think so too.
Be, yeah.
Initially, yeah. I would say a lot of these can be adjusted as far as like talking them through and like the elements and what really resonated with the viewer and things like that. And
yeah.
Right.
All right, we're moving on to the
this
next...
is the fun one.
Yeah. This one is The Force Awakens.
I don't know, man. Like, I wouldn't say it's bad. But...
I'd say it's Padawan.
How about Sandawan?
Sandawan?
Well, yeah.
It did just
rip
off.
Let's Padawan it. Let's Padawan it.
Okay.
What do you think, Tyler?
Well, I was just going to say it just played it safe. It was a safe film, so I'm just going to play it safe and be in the mid because it's basically A New Hope again.
It is. Pottery. So this one.
Oh, the next one? We're going to The Last Jedi.
Stick it in sand.
Stick it in the sand.
I mean, that's how I feel. Gut reactions, just stick it in sand.
Yeah, I was going to say sand or Jar Jar. I really don't like it.
I'll say sand. There's some elements that I like from it. I don't know if it really fits.
There's a couple cool things. There are a couple cool things.
I would just say I would put it in sand because it doesn't follow what I perceived the one previous. I had all these things like, oh, what can they do? They're going to do some grandiose thing in the next one. And they dismantled everything that I thought, and they just kind of steered it off a cliff.
Right.
So, and then that kind of caused a rupture for the next film, which is The Rise of Skywalker, that hindered this film being, good.
It would have been interesting if
Sandawan is what I'm going with that one.
If fucking Last Jedi was the first movie in the new trilogy, that would have been super interesting, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
It didn't. The movie that followed it up didn't answer things that Last Jedi set up, and the movie that preceded it didn't get an answer to anything in Last Jedi. So stick it in sand.
Stick it in sand.
See, I'm a Sandawan it because I like it better. Yeah. I like it better than Last Jedi, but I don't think it deserves a full Padawan.
If you're asking me about Rise of Skywalker, I'm saying put it in Jar Jar. For me, there's no other answer than put it in Jar Jar.
Put it in Jar Jar.
Then put it in sand. Man.
That's how I feel. I'm willing to negotiate on it, but just
I'd rather put Last Jedi in Jar Jar than Rise of Skywalker. But
okay, now we're going on to the next ones. The Clone Wars. Yeah. I'm doing Clone Wars first.
Clone Wars is
I'd say it's Padawan or Chosen.
I'd see.
Here's my
Padawan.
Having not seen it, here's my question about it.
Yeah.
Is when in the Clone Wars does this movie take place?
It's right. It literally is.
Geonosis.
The movie is just a setup for the TV show.
Okay. Gotcha.
So it takes place. It's your introduction to Ahsoka. It's the setup for all of that.
Gotcha.
Just shrink it a little bit.
It's not great.
But it's definitely.
But
it's
I
mid.
think in with the movies that it's with right now, I think that's fitting.
Yeah, I'd say that fits with the ones that we have in there so far.
Yeah.
All right, next is Rogue One.
That's either a Chosen or a Pottery for me.
I'd put that in Chosen for sure. Like safely for now, that can live in Chosen.
I was gonna say either Chosen or Pottery also because it's one that
That's very good.
I liked it. I'm glad that this one exists in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, me too. I haven't revisited it past a second time, and that second, like, it's been a while since I watched it for a second time, but I remember both times it did a lot of stuff that I was really happy with.
All right, last up we have Solo.
Sandawan for me.
Yeah, Sandawan, because it's like there's enough in there that was like enjoyable enough, but it didn't leave me feeling much of anything.
The thing is, like, I wanted it to succeed. Like, I wanted to like it more, or I don't know.
Sandawan. Yeah.
Sandawan.
Well, it did have the reveal of Darth Maul.
Who cares?
Yeah.
But who cares?
At the end, really quick.
When have they ever done anything
I
like
that? I like Darth Maul as a character, so I mean, he let a.
That's
like
part of what. That's part of what keeps it out of pure sand.
But there's no. For me, that's what puts it into sand. Is that there's no like carrot in that situation. They're just showing you a fucking baited hook from a mile away, and you're like, "Ooh, that looks cool."
Well,
and then you never get to get any closer.
Probably would have picked up on if it didn't fail. So, you know, they ended up picking up on some of it in the comic books, but.
All right, what are we thinking about our list so far, guys?
Okay, let's take another look at it.
Anything sticks out that you want to move?
Well, I was going to say let's just go back through one more time and see if there's anything like. So, episode 1.
Yep.
Episode 1, we have on Padawan.
Part of me does want to move that up to Chosen.
I wanted it on Chosen initially because there's so many elements of it that kind of help carry the preceding, like the next films, like a lot. And
I mean, to be fair, this is the movie where this is like the in-universe introduction of R2-D2, C-3PO, Obi-Wan. Like, there's a lot of
Anakin,
cool...
and it shows parts of like how you can see this kid becoming the evil that he becomes. Like, you can see the little dominoes that led him to where he goes. You know.
Well, yeah. Like, I may not like Jake Lloyd, but I do enjoy like seeing how he's so innocent and totally unprepared for the life that's ahead of him and how that's going to lead to his ruin.
Actors maybe out of the picture and just look at the characters themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Is like, I'd say it's Chosen one.
If you guys feel anything against that, speak up. Totally fine with not having it up there, but I'd say let's put that one in Chosen. There. Okay. So then episode 2.
I think we can put that in Padawan, probably.
I think that can live in Padawan.
I can reiterate the stuff that I like. I mean, there's quite a bit of the detective things, and like that's the inciting incident was you know the plot to assassinate Padme, and then like that's what the movie starts up with. Like, it's a big explosion on a ship bay, you know, on Coruscant.
That where you get I hate sand. It gets everywhere. From that.
It is.
Movie.
It is in 2, yeah.
It is in 2, but like,
great line.
I like
we
the
meet
stuff.
Django, we meet clones, we have like there's the plot to make the Grand Army of the Republic. There's parts in it that are really
Lucas.
great.
I like the stuff at the end with like the them fighting the beasts in the arena and that leading to the kickoff of the war with all the Jedi and the Genosians
There's that shit ass Yelpy fucking bitch in there though too. In there,
I don't know why everybody hates that thing so much.
I fucking hate it, dude. Hate it.
He rides a lizard.
The Yelpy lizard bitch, dude. I hate it.
We get
All
General Kenobi.
Obi-Wan. I like Grievous.
Same here.
I do.
Thought
I think he was a
cool
bit
backstory.
wasted. Like they could have done more with him, but I like him.
That's why I like things like the Clone Wars CG animated series because they expand him more.
Can we just talk about Grievous for another minute?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like know specifically canon the explanation for him, but I've always seen Grievous as being like thematically and like in universe narratively the precursor to Vader.
Yeah, same here.
Where
like he's
much.
suffering and like,
He's a living organism combined with droid. Essentially.
Yes.
Was he whose apprentice was he? Was he anybody's apprentice?
No.
Okay. But who did he like learn the Force from?
Nobody.
Didn't
He just stole those lightsabers from
He just stole the lightsaber.
Jedi.
Did he not
He couldn't
ever
use
use
the Force. He wasn't organic. He was mostly inorganic.
Okay, interesting. But it's still like I've always been like, okay, well, somebody put him through some kind of operation, or like that's why he's wheezing, and that's why he's fucking like barely able to live. Because it's the first
attempt.
His
heart, right? His heart, and maybe his brain. I don't remember. But
he's got like heart, some respiratory.
He's mostly his lungs. He's mostly inorganic.
Yeah.
The why he's raspy too was in the Gendy, wasn't it?
Yeah, because
that's where he gets introduced.
Mace Windu like force chokes his throat or something, right?
But that's he like crushed his like fucking torso. But that's
what
he was like
his lung
one version 0.5 of them, their first attempt, and they couldn't do that well. And it was cool that like
he was
Anakin,
more droid than anything.
Yeah, and it was cool that like he was an earlier quote unquote like threat to Anakin, so that he was faced with that. I like that part. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right,
I just didn't know if that was the common read on it that other people got, but
yeah, that's what I got.
What are we thinking for 3? You guys like it in Chosen One? Because I could make a good argument for pure pottery.
I was gonna say I feel comfortable putting it in pottery, man.
We can do it, dude. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
There are elements that maybe could have been done better, but I do think that majority of it is pretty fucking good.
You get the first reveal of Darth Vader, which is great. Him actually descending.
When I was a little boy in the theater, and they're putting all the stuff on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a whole montage of them fucking putting on his limbs,
just agonizing, like this hero is just his descent, and he's tortured.
And then they put his helmet on, and then there's that silence, and like the seal happens, and then all of a sudden the first breath happens. I got a little chilly willy.
All of that, all of him.
Oh, me too. Because it was like, not only is it chilly willies because it's a cool moment, but I was like, man, this is like cinematic. Like I get to sit in the theater and this movie's just coming out and like Vader's first breath. This is cool.
You finally get to see how he becomes Vader.
Yeah.
Well, and that in contrast with what's happening to his wife, you know, she's dying in childbirth as he's being born as this Dark Lord, and his kids are being born, and like the music that plays during both, like she's giving birth as he's being like constructed on by droids.
Well, and I always found it ironic that she's mostly being attended to by droids, and they're trying to save her life.
Yeah.
Through like a process that may be like painful or kind of like strenuous on her, but they're trying to give her care while Anakin is getting like procedures done to him that are totally cold and are, yes, like saving his life, but in no way are they meant to be caring for him. They are doing this out of like a just not even necessity. It's I like that part
he's
too.
on an assembly line.
Yeah, it's the pottery of Vader being born as his kids are being born, him being the Vader coming to existence as Padme dies. You're also seeing Padme die as quote unquote Anakin dies. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, there's so much good stuff that happens in that, and the Battle of Heroes, like that's one of the best battles that has been put to screen.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah.
So yeah, it lives in pure pottery to me.
I think so too. I think some of the Yoda Palpatine stuff is a little weak, and like some of the how it goes down with him and Mace and Anakin, some of that's a little bit weak, but other than that, it's real good.
Yeah. Okay. Next one, we're doing A New Hope.
So 4.
Yes. The first one. We got to take
I'm
into
pretty good
account
with Chosen One.
It is the first one. I'm just saying, it's like what set Star Wars in motion, you know?
Yeah, but does that automatically mean that it should live in pottery? Yeah, exactly.
Just keep that in mind, I guess. I don't know.
I know, but like that doesn't mean anything necessarily.
We get
like,
to meet the heroes. It was the first one. We get to meet. I mean, it has all the elements that I like. Is like the idea of your main character meeting a wise old hermit and teaches him the ways of this, you know, ancient religion.
So,
and then he uses that religion to blow up a big ball, you know.
Yeah.
So 4 and 6 to me, I think should separate, and either be one in Chosen, one in Padawan, or one in Pottery, one in Chosen. That's what I'm feeling.
4 and 6. Okay.
Yeah. Jedi either needs to stay where it's at. If
I would say I could make an
A New
argument
Hope
for
moves up,
Jedi could be in Pottery for me. I mean,
certainly. I mean, I feel this.
I can't pottery that.
You can't.
I can't pure pottery that.
You can't. Pure pottery
I can comfortably Chosen One it.
We're gonna have to make some concessions because you and I are diametrically opposed on Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker too. So
we can. Those I might have wiggle room on.
Okay, so we are settled on New Hope living in Chosen One. Yes.
I am comfortably New Hope and Chosen One. I think
we settle on that.
Comfortable enough with it being pottery, but I'm more comfortable with it being Chosen One.
I think it should be in Chosen One.
I mean, Chosen One is great. It's still a good flick, and it's, you know, it has a lot of, you know, things going for it. I would say that as a full movie, it plays beat by beat perfectly.
Yeah, I think that it should be in Chosen One for a lot of the reasons that you said, Tyler. Like, it's got that very typical hero's journey. It's got a lot of those like very typical like monomyth beats that we like to see. But that is why it should be in Chosen One, is because some of those things are so typical.
Yeah. And
because it's the first one, we're just getting to know these things. They're still finding their footing a little bit with some of the production part of it.
Yeah.
But
and they learn from their mistakes, or, you know, they expanded upon things in the next one for you know, Empire. So we're not changing Empire.
No.
If we could elevate it to like
if there was one that ever stood above the rest, it would be Empire.
Yeah. So my thing with Jedi is most of the Endor shit I don't give a fuck about.
True.
Which is about half the fucking movie.
True.
The cool shit, Vader Luke.
Vader Luke, man.
And like that's about it.
You don't. I mean, are you talking about
Jabba?
A lot of
the intro with the Jabba and the Rancor, and
what about Jabba's palace
and the sand dune stuff, and the Boba Fett falling into the Sarlacc, and
that intro part always felt very Indiana Jones to me.
Luke pimping in That was cool, right? Luke showing up, fully formed Jedi boy coming in. That's cool. Ballast stuff is all right. Endor shit's whatever. Vader Luke stuff is tight. All right, so that's why like I'm pretty comfortable with Chosen One. I could definitely put it Padawan, but like this one's a solid Padawan 1. Padawan. That's a solid Padawan for me. So like,
let me ask you. I
don't think it should be pottery. But
yeah, I am in no way arguing for it to be pottery, but I am curious, Eric, what to you is like one big thing that would keep it from pottery?
Endor.
Okay. Like all of Endor or mainly the Ewok
Most
stuff?
Of it, yeah. I mean, like, it's fine, but it's just whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. No, I totally understand.
Yeah. We're leaving it in Chosen One.
I think let's leave it in Chosen One. Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
I could argue for it to be elevated to pottery, but I'm fine with it being Chosen One.
See, if episode 4 is not pottery, fucking episode 6 sure as shit isn't pottery.
Yeah.
So that's why I was saying, like, if episode 4 moved, episode 6 would have to either move or stay. Like the only opportunity for them to be together is if they're both in Chosen One.
Okay. All right. We're leaving it there. Let's move on.
Okay.
To episode 7. Right?
7.
Yes.
I'm fine at Padawan.
I don't think it should move anywhere from there. If it was going to move, it would go to sand, but I don't mean that to like demean the movie. It's mainly just how it stacks up against the others.
Like I said, I'm just gonna say this movie played it safe. Like they knew it was a rush job too. I think on the part of Disney, they're like, we just need to get a Star Wars out there. Let's just let's rip off the first movie.
The whole trilogy's a rush job.
Tweak something, and the whole trilogy's rushed.
I don't think any of the sequel, in my opinion, I don't think any of the sequel trilogy movies should be above Padawan.
No, me either.
Okay, so what are we thinking for the 8?
8, I'm comfortable with 8 in sand.
In the sand.
I think
I could move it to Jar Jar actually.
No,
yes,
but
it ruined Luke.
I think it was just bad. Like I can see, like this is where like I can make concessions. I could see Rise of Skywalker going Jar Jar just because of how much of a mess it was.
It was trying to pick up the pieces from what Last Jedi did. So it's
at the same time, there were things I liked more in Rise of Skywalker than most anything in Last Jedi.
I feel like the opposite, and that by no means you are wrong, Eric. It's just like I think you and I found different
strokes for different folks.
It's not even different strokes. It's like different like glimmers of hope. Like we found different little life rafts that we were like, let me cling to this. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's I don't think. I think
what were your like touch points that you liked with Last Jedi?
It's what you said it's more of what you said is that like literally I can't think of anything in Rise of Skywalker that I would find redeeming or that I would take over some of the things in Last Jedi. Like I don't know that I liked one single thing in Rise of Skywalker, sadly. Maybe I did, but like I thought it was cool, some of the stuff they did with Luke, not everything, but some of the stuff I liked so like for me with Rise, I liked the Luke bit. I liked him coming, like the Force Ghost thingy, whatever. Like I liked that.
The Force projection? Or just the Force?
Yeah, that thing. Force projection. Okay. I did like.
You like Canto Bight from Last Jedi?
This is like
No.
This is like one of the. This movie is probably the only time I liked part of the Rey Kylo stuff. Was in.
Yeah, I like
Rise.
that.
Was in Rise. Yeah.
What they did,
When
they learned Force Heal, and they had like the Force connection kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, what did they call
dyad? The dyad.
Yeah.
That actually felt kind of like something.
I like those
Yeah.
ideas. I wish those ideas were expanded upon a little bit more, like because those concepts are why like people dive into the lore of Star Wars. Like, I want to know more about what the dyad means. Like, new elements of things are great.
And sure, Palpy was just thrown in there for fucking reasons, but like, you know, it's still Ian McDermott Palpy. That just makes me happy.
Sure. I mean, yeah, that.
You know, it's.
So are we?
still-
Bracho, are you
people
making an
still-
argument that it
people-
should go to Padawan?
No.
No. I am saying it earns a sand in my eye. But I can
Just sand in
see
my
it.
eye. Which you'd rather have, right? You'd rather have that.
I can see it. I can see it being put in Jar Jar just because of how much of a mess it was. While to me, Last Jedi is the worst movie. It was out of the sequels. It at least was like a cohesive movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like Wilson said,
So-
if it was the first in the trilogy and you start from there, maybe it had a chance of, like, you know.
Yeah.
That's
making
incredible. That starts you in a place where you're like, holy shit, I've got questions. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah. So if you want to throw 8 in Jar Jar, like, I'm okay with it.
Okay.
I think 8 earns a sand.
8 earns a sand.
And I think, Eric, you put that a really good way about 9, except I think it's about 8. 8 earns a sand.
Or wait, yeah, that's what I mean. 8 earns a sand. 9. I got the numbers mixed up.
I think
so
9 deserves a Jar Jar.
Because it was a cluster.
So 8, yeah. So yeah, for like I said, I may enjoy 9 more than I enjoy 8. 8 was at least a cohesive movie.
Right.
Yeah.
I got you. Yes.
I agree.
And the reason, and it's you know, it's not, well, it's Disney's fault for all of it, but like the reason why 9 is the way it is because 8 fucking did what it did. So like it's 9 wouldn't have been a mess had 8 not been what it was. But like I said, comfortable with it.
I'm putting 9 in Jar Jar for like the same reasons that I would be putting if we were ranking Tom Cruise movies.
Yeah.
I would be saying that The Mummy should go in Jar Jar. And it's for the same reasons that I'm saying Rise of Skywalker should go in Jar Jar. It's just clearly stupid fucking decisions, but watching the movie, I'm entertained because you got little Babu Frick just going, hey, and I laugh at that.
Dude. Fuck, I forgot about my boy Babu. Dude.
Oh, Babu.
He's coming back,
yeah,
bro.
Pure pottery.
He's back,
Are you kidding
bro.
me? Babu. Babu
Babu's my
salvages
boy.
it.
But that's something that I just
He's,
laugh at. That's out of
Oh,
context.
that's the other thing. This is the only 9 was also the only time that I liked Poe as a character too.
Yeah,
Sure.
Only in 9.
He got bitch slapped in Last Jedi too much to be like, am I supposed to like this guy? Like,
they
he
never
is a
gave
hot
him
man,
anything to do.
but he didn't do it. He's like, he disobeyed orders, and it's like, okay, yeah, am I supposed to like this guy because he disobeys orders?
And
Like, he seems incompetent.
it's a reminder. It's a reminder that this was slapped together because fucking he was supposed to die in fucking what's a shits. The first one, episode 7.
Force Awakens.
Yeah, Force Awakens. He was supposed to die in that, but people liked him on the trailer, so they kept him.
I like Oscar Isaac.
I like him too, but like it's a reminder, like, oh shit, people like this character, so let's just.
I don't know.
They were
after-
completely reactionary. There was no planning. There was no confidence in this is the story we want to tell.
Yep. And then in turn, they didn't do shit with Finn.
Right. And that was there's so many missed
for the
opportunities.
same reasons. It was because there was either people on both sides being neither, like, not a vocal minority or majority, just being like, I either like this John Boyega or I dislike him, and there was no like vocal people being like, we fucking love Finn, give us more Finn. Yeah. It was just
they didn't know what to do with them. Like with any of them, they didn't know what to do with them. Right. They're just like, these are the people, I guess.
Disney's decisions on how to write these movies were based on like social media reactions, not what like narrative concepts.
Yep, it was dumb.
And selling toys.
All right. Yeah. All right.
Next up, the Clone Wars. Yep. I'm fine with it in Padawan. I would not.
Fine with it in Padawan.
I would not bring it to Sand because I did enjoy parts of it, and
I cannot speak to it, but I think
it's fine.
Knowing the quality of
it's
like the Clone Wars stuff I have seen, I think it certainly is at least a Padawan.
It fits with, if we have Force Awakens in Padawan, we can put Clone Wars there too.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
That's my logic. Rogue One.
I'm good with
Chosen One.
I can make an argument to put it up to Pottery.
Pottery, I'd say yes.
I could agree with that.
Because we get that Darth Vader scene, we get like all of our heroes die. We get some great. I'm one with the Force is with me.
Yep.
Well, and it's just
the fight. It was so great to see military dudes in action.
I was gonna say a lot of cool ground level stuff.
Yeah. It is nice to have a little bit of a new perspective and new, fresh things in the Star Wars universe.
Seeing the rebels be rebels, that's great. Seeing Andor actually like kill dudes for like keeping a secret, like that's great.
Yeah.
People acted like that was such a huge deal. Like, oh my gosh, we're seeing a rebel character like do things that are questionable. It's like, of course, it's war.
Yeah,
that's what they do. And the other thing too is having the movie be without like Force users for the most part.
Exactly.
For most of it. And then having fucking
the splurge
Vader lay down his big old fucking dick down at the end, just lets you know how fucking terrifying.
He dropped that cock just like Chubby Sue.
He is, yeah, dude. Just dropped it right in there, dude. Yeah. So I'd say put that up at Pottery.
Pure Pottery. Here we go. Rogue One. Good job, Gareth.
And I do like it's. I don't know if you would call it like maybe a message of the film, but it is refreshing that it's not like, and the heroes win the day and they go on to fight the good fight. It's like, no, sometimes sacrifices do need to be made, and it is about the greater good, and it's not about the one pilot who's going to make the 1 in a million shot to blast this and go home.
When it shows that war's messy, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of gray area. It's not always black and white.
It's good that we see some wars in Star Wars, and it's a good war.
It would have been... this is in no way a criticism of the film. I just wish that this is something we would... They've been doing it a little bit more with The Mandalorian, I guess. But I would like to see a little bit more of people on the Empire side being a little bit more morally gray, where they're like, yes, I serve the Empire. I believe in its belief system. But I will be fair in some occasions and not like completely evil. You know what I mean? Like I want them to be maybe harsh or yes, part of a bad system, but still be a reasonable enough person or showing some grayness.
You get a little bit of it in is it Clone Wars? Or is it Rebels? It's Rebels with the guy that Chiwetel Ejiofor plays. Rebels. Get his name. But he kind of ends up kind of helping them, but also kind of still Empire. It's interesting.
Yeah, I get what you mean. He's trying to like subterfuge type of character, where it's like a what do you call it?
It's not completely what Wilson's talking about, but it's kind of similar.
Yeah,
it's just nice sometimes when you have these characters that are like.
Complicated.
A lot of their peers or a lot of the people in their same organization are painted as completely evil and always making the most the decision that brings people the most pain and suffering. And then there's somebody that is maybe like, okay, yes, this person's part of that same system, but at least they're like showing respect sometimes, or not doing the thing that will cause the most pain and suffering. They're being like, I'll do what I need to do, but I'm not going to go out of my way to make myself like a total shitbag.
Right. Well, because a lot of it is so much of just the black and white of it, like the original stuff is so much light dark. It's not a lot of the gray. The gray gets brought in more later, right, by other people, to showing that, because there's a lot of gray and gray areas and stuff, and a lot of people aren't either or. So it's like they kind of with the OG Georgie boy stuff, it is very light dark, but either or. So it's something like Rogue One, which is done by somebody else. It points more towards gray area stuff.
Yeah, I remember I saw something like Kumail Nanjiani was talking about his character in Obi-Wan, and he was saying that his character was like a scoundrel and somebody that was like questionable morals and untrustworthy.
Yeah.
And it's not really the case, in my opinion, at least. It's just a very light side character with a very minor, almost unnoticeable tinge of darkness to him, of just like, I'm gonna do good things, but I'm gonna use subterfuge to do it.
Yeah. Right.
Instead of like, okay,
kind of like the Han Solo thing too, right? He's not necessarily a good dude, but he is not morally, he's not a bad guy, but he just does do bad things sometimes,
Yeah, I think it would be nice to see more of the and Cassian Andor extremes, quote unquote, where we do see characters like on one side or another definitively doing some stuff that we don't expect them to.
Yeah, you see some shitty rebels, or you see some decent Empire people.
Right. You follow a decent Empire fighter pilot, and he has to do he doesn't want to do a bombing run or something, and then
he's a pilot who gets into a huge dogfight with people, and he's being ordered to just wipe them all out, and he's like, well, no, these people are clearly struggling up here. I'm not going to just kill every single one of them. I'll take down the people who are attacking me, but
right.
Yeah,
or you see a rebel that's taking advantage of the local people, and might be scamming them, or bribing them, or what I mean, doing something morally corrupt where he maybe the person ends up hurting people because they won't pay or whatever, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they're like, oh, there's no exploitation happening in this system, but it's like, of course there is. You're just turning a blind eye to it because it's not as bad as some other places.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Are we ready to move on
to
Solo?
Speaking of morally gray.
Morally gray. He's in Padawan sand right now.
It's such a.
Is there room for another category?
Yeah, it's like.
I'm sorry, Eric. Go ahead with yours.
It's truly right in between those for me.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
If I had gun to your head, where would it go?
Sand. Just complete
sand.
Gut reaction, sand.
Any reasoning that really justifies that? Or
I mean, yeah.
Talk it through a little bit.
Why? Well, okay. To not try to come down on the movie, why did this story need to be told? Without them making this movie, I understand that Han Solo was younger than when I've seen him in A New Hope, and that he did things before that movie.
Right.
I have a concept that this character was living and breathing in this universe before I first chronologically saw him. I don't know. It just didn't do anything special or unique. It was a lot of, okay, that's impression, or it reminds me of the thing I've seen before, but I don't know why.
Okay. Wilson,
Yeah.
Find an element of the film that you kind of liked. Is there anything in the film that you maybe enjoyed, or a scene that was kind of cool, or just
there
showing
were
the Millennium Falcon and the Kessel Run, like understanding what that was and what that meant, maybe?
There were certain things that I liked. I liked seeing the development of how him and Chewie became friends. That it didn't just start off as them like, oh, we're instantly best buddies. I would have liked to see more of that.
I liked Donald Glover as Lando. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I think it would have been nice to see a little bit more of like him with Woody Harrelson's crew, just living as an outlaw for a while.
Right. Or like, yeah, or anything more of him. Like, to me, like, the interesting part of Han's backstory is A, the Chewie life debt, and B, three things. Chewie life debt, him as an Imperial cadet, and the origin of the beef with Boba Fett. And we got the life debt. Didn't get much the Imperial cadet thing, and we didn't get any of the Boba Fett shit at all.
I never really thought of Han and Boba having like a personal beef.
Oh yeah, to me that's like,
I'd say more of a Jabba, and by way of Jabba, that's the beef between the two.
Boba was like really wanted to be the one to take out Solo though, didn't he?
I thought it was just because he was like, I want the reward.
I think it was just because he was a big bounty. I don't know. Like Boba does it by the bounty.
Yeah, because they kept talking about
it's been played up in Legends. Because in the Legends stuff, it's always been a big thing. Him and Han.
Oh, maybe. I guess maybe in. Oh well, Legends is like the old.
It's the ancillary stuff. Old EU stuff.
But that would have been cool to see though, Bradshaw. I'm gonna give you that, because if they did add a Boba Fett thing, and then they like bumps into him and is like, "Hey man, I'm just trying to make my way in the galaxy," and
the movies to me gave me the feeling that there was something between Han and Boba, and then the EU stuff kind of expanded that.
Well, Boba's name precedes him. You know, like if you say Boba to anybody in the galaxy, people are gonna be like Boba Fett. So like,
I always thought it was like
Boba
reputation.
Fett. What? Where?
But I would have liked to see a little bit more of like how the changing of the, because like Han was born, if I'm not mistaken, he was born like not too far away from when Palpatine became Palpatine and like did Order 66 and really that whole thing happened.
Yeah, he's a good like decade older than Luke, maybe.
I think about there. I don't know.
Yeah, Luke was like what? 18.
Yeah,
but like,
so like,
I've always been curious. Like, okay, well, how did the changing of the guard, like government-wise, or like what happened to create the circumstances that led to Han being born and living in the circumstances that he did to like cause him to be a scoundrel and to live a life of a criminal? Like,
right?
I don't know.
Because you don't get that, and like, because you don't get much of the impetus for him being who he is, and like he was barely an Imperial cadet in that movie, right? Like he was barely there.
Well, and that wasn't even like a full-on like team he was with. He was with the team that was gonna, you know.
He went AWOL. Like, I don't,
that whole
I don't
team
know
he was
long,
with was with Woody Harrelson. They're like, we have another thing we're doing, so you follow us, kid, or you're dead.
Yeah, he's basically like, let's fuck off.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that they really gave a great explanation for like him developing his skills as a pilot.
No.
That would have been cool to see. Like, I'm fine with it being with him having natural gift at that, but you do need to explain a little bit of him. Like, okay, but I do need to like practice and
even show Chewie doing mechanical things. You know, because Chewie's up there with a welding helmet on and you know, fixing the Millennium Falcon in some scenes, and you know, Empire. He's working on it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe more of a movie of them like stuck on the Millennium Falcon because they're hiding out in this one section of space for like 2 weeks, and they're having to like hang up their dirty laundry in the Falcon, and they're getting crabby with each other. And
would it be better as a series? You think?
Oh God, yes.
Yeah.
I'd say so. I'd say I'd watch a solo series.
I think a lot of these Star Wars
him and
being a show.
Yeah, him and the forging of that friendship between him and Chewie, them living on the ship, like you were saying, on the Falcon, them like learning the ins and outs of the Falcon, like various run-ins with different people.
You could just.
You get
Cowboy Bebop with Han and Chewie. Them just bombing around space, trying to make money to keep
them running into people,
eating and living and running into people,
running into Greedo, running into Boba, and getting on the bad sides of those various people.
We always have the best ideas. But
hold on, what do you guys think about? What do you guys think about? Because going along
they
the
are
same
going
lines,
to do a Lando series, or they're trying to,
with the same going along the same lines as what you guys are talking about. Do you think if the original directors would have had a better take on it, or did Ron Howard have to salvage something for the studios to be like, all right, this, like, would that change your mind maybe? And I know it's kind of hard to perceive that, but like the original directors,
well, yeah, depending on what it was,
No, I think I would have
thought
very easy to perceive that.
It would have been better to me, like having new eyes.
Lord and Miller, yeah,
from everything I've heard about like the way that Lord and Miller were writing the script and handling everything, it was a little bit more loosey-goosey with some of it.
Yeah.
And I think that would have been wonderful to just let these characters, like, let these actors be like, okay, who's your character? Be your character with these other characters.
Be a snarky guy. Make quips, make jokes, like, do stuff.
Like, even better if Lord and Miller did this as a series.
Oh my gosh.
The best.
Yes, I would have totally elevated it to like Padawan.
No discredit to Ron Howard, but like you can, it's so by the numbers and it's so scrabbled together. Yeah, it's so serviceable. And if he had his hands in it from the beginning, it probably would have been better than it like turned out to be. But
this is like an Ouroboros situation though, because like, you know, a snake eating its tail, because like without Solo, we don't really get Star Wars TV, right? Like the
kinda, yeah.
Well, it was a combination. It was a combination of things. It was the reaction and whatever for the sequel trilogy, but then Solo happening and then kind of bombing, and then like not really, you know, performing, led them to basically restructure all of their mid-tier shit, non like mainline stories into TV shows.
Well, there was also like when Solo came out,
because Obi-Wan was
speculating that Boba Fett's going to have his own, you know, movie too, and things like that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Boba Fett was supposed to have his own movie. Obi-Wan was supposed to have a movie. They restructured Obi-Wan into a TV show. They made The Mandalorian and put Boba in there.
I imagine that they probably were initially planning for Obi-Wan to have more than 6 episodes, and then it probably was the pandemic that made them cut it down to 6.
Potentially,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's very possible.
But they did.
With the last one being
like
really
they
long.
even talked, like Ewan McGregor's even talked about it, how it was originally they were gonna do a movie, but since that TV format's been working out so well for them, they did that instead. So it's like, it's, you know, so it's if we had, so my point being essentially is we wouldn't have a Solo TV show because it required Solo doing what it did for us to get the TV shows.
So it belongs.
You know what I mean?
It belongs in Padawan for giving us the shows.
No.
Okay.
So my thing was like, I why I had it at Sandowan was like, I didn't think it was completely bad, but if it has to go fully into a category, then it shouldn't move up to Padawan. It should go Sand.
I agree. I mean, I would say I'm just going to give it that because the studio misread everything, because I was expecting a fun romp around the galaxy with a snarky guy and his Chewbacca. Like, I would have loved to see a more comical, or, you know, not just a straight up comedy, but like a set in the Star Wars universe, like Guardians of the Galaxy, somewhat, you know.
Could you imagine if it was the TV show, that we had more time with Han in the as an Imperial cadet, and him like getting, you know, him getting disciplined or some shit for being shitty, so he's on prisoner duty, so he has to like deliver meals, whatever, to prisoners, and that's where he comes across Chewbacca, and then they keep having these, like, you know, these interactions throughout, and this rapport builds, and then you have like a real good reason then for him to then help him get out, and then Chewie ends up saving his life in the crux of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
little scenes of like, my communicator's busted, and then Chewie's like, he just grabs it from him and like fixes it in like 2 seconds. So
you have
like,
this built, you have this built rapport from them interacting in this, you know, him, you know, interacting with the prisoner thing, and I don't know. I just think it would build more, and it would make a more satisfactory story.
You could have Han in the Imperial Academy, in like the flight simulator, just constantly like crashing the simulator, and they're like, Solo, you keep pulling these crazy maneuvers that are never going to work. Like, it's not going to cut it. You got to just fly by you got to do what we want you to do.
Yeah.
And hey,
earns his way to really flying, you know, maybe like does some crazy shit. That's how he gets put on the prisoner duty and meets Chewie.
Say, like, maybe he spends all his time in the simulator,
or doing just freighters.
He's
doing freighter
shirking
missions.
He's shirking his actual duties by just staying in the simulator all the time. So then that's how he gets disciplined into being in the fucking on prisoner duty, because he's not doing what he's supposed to.
Well, I imagine
you have him building up his flight skills from spending all that time doing that, and then that leads organically into then him meeting Chewie, and that's starting to go. You could do all kinds of cool shit with him in Lando. Spend some time on the like say he has to do like a casino job or some shit when he gets out and he's smuggling, and that's where he runs into Lando, and you find out that they're both trying to fucking swindle this person, and then like they, you know what I mean? Like, you could do so much with that as a TV show.
I agree.
I can think of so many cool scenarios you could do with that, and like, yeah.
I imagine that, like, when I think of Han in the academy, like learning to fly, I basically just picture him as Maverick.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah, like attitude, confidence, willing to pull off some crazy stuff and getting chastised for it.
Yeah. Yep. Fucking. Yeah. Then you could have him, like, you know, potentially like interfering in like some job he's trying to pull. He ends up interfering in like one of Boba's bounties or some shit, and that's how shit begins with those two.
Hey,
you know what I mean? Like,
maybe my thought was like, okay, Han starts flying, you know, gets put on the prisoner duty, meets Chewie, and maybe like, because Chewie shows aptitude with mechanics and with this stuff, they put him on like slave labor, like fixing ships, or basically just being like a mechanic for the ships. And he's like, Han's up there doing a test mission or something, or a you know, just a flight run, and Chewie's on the ground communicating with him over headset, and he's like, bro, I can't understand you. Like, I don't speak what you're speaking. But the way that, you remember how like when Luke was in his X-Wing with R2, it would bring up on the screen like a text display of what R2 is saying?
Yeah.
They could do that for Chewie, so Han could learn how to speak Wookiee that way.
Right.
Where like he wouldn't know how to physically speak Wookiee, but he would understand what Chewie is saying.
Yeah.
And then maybe like Han's like, all right, I've got access to this plane. You and me are gonna, or not this plane, this ship. You and me, Chewie, we're gonna bust out of here. And they bust out of there, and the Empire puts a bounty out on Chewie and Han. And Boba takes the bounty, and because Han helps Chewie get away from Boba, that's what makes Chewie give him the life debt.
Yeah,
there you go.
And then you could get into then like Boba chasing them, and then like they get in like a spaceship like chase, and Han's able to like outmaneuver and like fucking ditch Boba essentially and cause damage to his ship and shit, and then it's like that hurts Boba's pride, and he's fucking
they go, it's like here's a pottery moment. They both fly through an asteroid field, and Han's able to make it through based on his fucking skill as a pilot. Boba not as good. His ship gets damaged by the asteroids, can't keep up. It's perfect.
Because Boba would still be, I mean, this version of Boba would still be kind of young or so, right?
He'd be roughly the same age, I think.
So maybe since he was part of the clone initiative, whatever, the Empire
be a little older.
The Empire would take him and maybe guide him through his journey a little bit, and then he would become like some kind of military officer or a pilot of some kind. But he would have the Slave One or Fire Spray, whatever it's called now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because it's his dad's ship.
He would still have that, but like maybe there's an event where Solo gets the chance to bring a bunch of prisoners, and Chewie being a prisoner on it, and then Boba, they have maybe like a little fight in space when they're doing a transport of some kind, and like that's where maybe he gets damaged, the ship gets damaged, and then it jostles the ship to let some prisoners escape, and Chewie gets out and he starts repairing, because like if he doesn't help repair the ship, like he'll die. So like he just goes and starts helping Han like get the ship corrected and safe, like down safely. Like there's so many elements you can add.
Here's another idea. Maybe Chewie has some sort of family keepsake or something, some like item that he had taken from him or that he's looking for or something like that. And that's like the reason it's like important to him. And we can incorporate his family, bringing in stuff from the holiday special. And then that's also a way to bring in Lando, because these guys are like going planet to planet trying to find this thing. It's what leads them to have run-ins with, characters and have adventures and have Boba be chasing them on these planets. But then they contact Lando because they're like, oh, somebody is like, oh, I know this one guy. He's really good at finding stuff. He's maybe your buyer,
Right.
That leads them to Lando.
So Boba Fett and Han are actually the same age. They're both born 32 BBY.
That's perfect. They're in the academy together, going up at the same time or something,
Well, no, because if Clone Wars, right?
Boba's not in the academy.
Boba's bounty hunting in Clone Wars.
I guess, yeah.
He is, yeah. He's very bullheaded on his own.
Yeah, he's never a part of the system.
No. So yeah, they'd be, perfect.
Well, okay.
Age, essentially.
But they'd still be in the same, around the same age. They could fight each other.
Let's say,
that
we're gonna keep it on. We're gonna keep Solo a Star Wars story in sand.
Hey, maybe Boba's part of the Kessel Run.
Yeah, that could be cool. In the Slave One, doing something.
Yeah.
It sounds like a race. To me, it sounds like a freaking race. So I thought it was going to be a race.
Yeah. What was it in the movie? I don't remember shit about that movie because I saw it once and never watched it.
It's a weird, like, navigational
It's a
thing.
route.
It's a route that you take to Kessel.
Well, yeah, it's like to and from Kessel, and it basically goes close to this like black hole.
Right.
And the reason that Han boasts about the Kessel Run is because he uses the black hole to basically cheat time and space, and cuts it, like travels that same route in a shorter distance than anybody else ever has.
Right. So Han is about 13 years older than Luke.
Makes sense.
We said about a decade, right?
About a decade, yeah.
Ooh. That makes Han about 13 years older than Leia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of skeevy.
We know. It's his
Little
character
bit.
on brand.
I mean, yeah, but it also, like, I never thought about it that way.
He's a scoundrel.
Kind of rubs me the wrong way a little bit, but...
Yeah, I'm fine with Solo being in sand, I would say.
Yeah.
I would bring it to Padawan if I would have saw the original concept. Like, if Lord Miller ever come out with, like, a script or a treatment that they had, like, that would be my headcanon, too. Like, all right, that's my canon, then.
I'm imagining Tandy Newton, Woody Harrelson, Chewbacca, Jon Favreau, Alien, and Han Solo sitting around a fire just shooting the shit.
Yeah, like the Guardians,
not
like doing Guardians of the Galaxy,
way,
but Star Wars.
It's not like, oh, we should have gotten Bosk for this job. It's
name dropping whenever you can.
Talk shit about Bosk.
I'm not talking shit about Bosk. I'm talking shit about the script.
Right.
Yeah, every chance they could, they're like, oh, let's name drop. This is a great time to name drop, right? Oh yeah, people will love that. Well, let's throw that in there. It's like, no, you misread the audience entirely.
Hey, remember this thing?
Remember this? But yeah, I'd say our list, well, it is the definitive Fargonaut list. We've talked them through. The one that exists in Jar Jar currently is the Rise of Skywalker.
I think I have our next Star Wars challenge.
What is it?
We come up with the Fargonauts watch order for all these movies.
Oh man,
maybe not all these movies, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, there's some that I just like say don't even.
You gotta watch Clone Wars right after you watch Phantom Menace, but before you watch The Last Jedi.
Yeah, you just start with Solo. Start with the worst one so you can like really appreciate the other ones. You know.
So in Return of the Jedi, when Han and Leia finally like get together.
Oh my god.
Leia would be 23 and he would be 36.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which isn't terrible.
No.
So
when you put it like that, thank you.
But I mean, like, if she was 18 and he was 31, I'd be like, okay, this is real weird.
Yeah. I gotta do that math quick.
Hey, princess.
Hey, we've done it again too. We did it with the Marvel shit, figuring out the X-Men stuff, and now we did it again with how to make Solo good.
Mm-hmm.
We've won up Disney.
Hey man, if you give us I'm not even gonna say a problematic movie, but you give us a movie, we will hash out what at least we think sounds like a satisfying.
We will figure it out.
Yeah,
we will figure it out.
Alternative, yeah. Well, the alternative would be the Lord and Miller cut or version, but
it'd be we figure out our cut.
Our cut.
That's the unfortunate thing is we're kind of stuck with Solo now.
Yep.
Like we can't really go back and redo it.
No, but I can choose to ignore its existence.
That's true. Which I kind of do.
Like
it's not offensive enough to me where I'm like, this could never be canon, but like also I just don't think of it ever, so it's kind of not canon in my mind. You know?
Yeah, I'd say that's true. And how he gets his blasters, an element in there too, and
yeah.
I mean, that's
the only thing
fine. Somebody hands it to him. I assumed that it was either that or he bought it.
He gets it.
The only thing that matters to me,
Harrelson, I think. Yeah.
Somebody handed it to him. Oh my god!
Wow, that's his. That's
it's legendary.
The broom handle. How do you get that?
that matters to me is that Quinlan Voss is still kicking around.
Yeah.
Hey,
No matter what, new continuity, guess what? Still kicking around.
a lot of people are thinking, and we can go into this. Maybe we'll do another tier list again of just TV shows.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are saying that you could see Quinlan Voss maybe save Grogu
Oh yeah, that could be cool.
if he's
I'm
helping
down for it.
younglings. Like you see Quinlan show up and he's like, "Yo, Grogu."
I mean, this is happening, I think, roughly the same time as.
But the thing is, well, okay, but again, they've it's not canon anymore. But
Yeah.
and I don't remember if because they bring him up in episode 3, I think, or at least in the novelization. I don't remember.
Quinlan
I wanna
in
say
episode
Bob.
3.
Yeah, they say General Voss.
Oh,
I don't remember if that's in the movie or not. But anyway, in the comic books, he was on Kashyyyk when Order 66 happened. But again, that's not canon. So unless it was something directly referenced in the movie where he's at, then that doesn't matter anymore. But
so yeah. Let's go through this real quick. We have Pure Pottery. We have
yes,
Empire Strikes Back. We have Revenge of the Sith and Rogue One, all directed by different directors. If you could fathom that, we have Gareth Edwards, Georgie Boy, and Kirshner, right?
yeah,
And then the other ones these are chosen ones, all Georgie Boy. Did the A New Hope, Return.
no, he did direct Return.
He didn't do Return?
I don't think so. Technically, I don't think he... Did he even do New Hope? I guess he did. Let me see. Let me
I guess,
Return.
yeah, Marquand did, but
Yeah,
the
Marquand.
Return. Richard Marquand.
Yep.
And then we have the newer ones, I guess, JJ and Ryan being the lower, and Ron Howard. I think Ron Howard was I don't know why they chose him. Like,
Probably because
Bryce
somebody
Dallas-
knew him. Like, probably Kathleen Kennedy had him on shorthand, and he was available.
He's available, and they knew that he would not cause a hubbub and just kind of do the work.
He'd play ball. Like, the person who made that call was like, I know the person. Like, I know who we'll pick. They're gonna do what we need them to do. It's that simple.
Yeah, I thought it was maybe because like Bryce Dallas maybe had an in because she's doing a lot of directing on The Mandalorian, and her stuff that she's directed is really good.
Yeah, good for her. I mean, I think she's great from what I've seen.
Yeah. She's gonna be doing some Ahsoka, I think.
Bryce Dingy Hingy.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm satisfied with our list so far. We'll wait to see if other movies make the cut. How are you guys feeling?
If we want to get, we can always do this again too with TV shows as well.
I did say that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
I
did.
haven't seen all the, like, I haven't seen Book of Boba Fett, and I haven't seen all, like, the newest season of Mandalorian. I haven't watched all of Rebels. I haven't watched Clone Wars.
Fucking get on it.
I don't want to.
There are.
Why?
You can.
I mean, not this second. I don't want to introduce a
now.
deluge of Star Wars into my life.
It's fair.
Are you the person that would like binge the entire show, or would you be okay with having like a watch list of like these are the episodes from like let's say Rebels that like show the story as like an arc?
Where did I leave off in Rebels? I think I left off in like season. How many episodes or seasons are there of Rebels? Is there 5?
Well, 4 or 5, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I left off in 3 or 4. Like, I got a good chunk of the way through Rebels, which was awesome. I fucking love Rebels.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's great.
Well, we know that it's great, so it's going to be chosen.
in the interest of saving time, I would say like just give me the hot
Clone Wars,
episodes
you
or
might need
whatever.
to do that. Clone Wars might need to do that.
Yeah, Clone Wars, that's like
9 seasons.
Much. Yeah, to like try and watch all of that in time to really discuss it. But
yeah, there are threads on like Reddit that say like, here's the episodes you should watch if you want to get like.
Even if I haven't seen them, I'm still down to talk about them.
Right.
Just I might not be as informed as y'all.
Because Rebels picks up on a lot of stuff from Clone Wars too. So.
I know it's not Star Wars themes, but I think we can do this with the Marvel movies.
Oh yeah,
we definitely can.
Definitely. That one's gonna take like 5 hours.
Jeez, yeah, this one took like, what are we at right now? We're at an hour 15 since we started. So
yeah,
this yeah, because Star Wars is like, what, that was 12 movies.
Yeah.
Over the span of like 45 years or something like that.
Yeah, there's like 30 some movies of Marvel right now.
Marvel's that's like 29 or something stupid like that over the course of fucking
a decade,
15 years almost.
Yeah,
just crazy.
Yeah, we'll have to revisit the tier list idea, because Star Wars is great with pure pottery. I'm glad you guys adjusted your criteria with the nomenclature I've chosen with the pure pottery. And
well, it makes me want to do like just more tier lists.
Yeah,
it's not like these are super interesting or anything. I just like the discussion between the three of us and seeing where things end up at.
Yeah,
I want to subject you guys to tier lists. To like, I want to throw together like,
do it.
I want to see like, well, I mean, it would be like, what's your Godzilla tier list, or what's your Gundam tier list, or something like that. And I know maybe you haven't seen everything or all that, but I don't care.
No, you just give us some images and we can go from that. Man.
I'm just curious.
But yeah, we'll be back with more tier lists and more Star Wars this summer. I'm glad we finally did this after, I don't know how many years we've been doing summer Star Wars, maybe 3.
6.
6.
Last year was 5. Last year was 5.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I think. Last year was 5, I think. Or wait.
We've been doing Star Wars stuff in the summertime since we started the channel, which was in like 2016.
A long time ago.
I want to say we started in 2016, the channel. Or doing recordings of, stuff.
I got this.
Do you? I'm gonna hit the stop button. We're gonna stop recording.
No.
Yeah.
No.
You got to keep talking then. Keep going.
All right. So I'm almost there. I'm fucking almost there, dude. Jesus Christ. All right. Oh shit! It's not in order. Not in release order.
Not in release order, just popularity.
Let me see. Because the first one we did was like super. Was like Super Star Wars or Super Return of the Jedi or some shit, wasn't it?
Yeah, super something.
Super Empire Strikes Back.
We did Jedi Outcast and all that stuff. That was 1 year. And Dark Forces. That was always fun.
Yeah, there's Dank Forces. Because I think, did we start this when it was just me, you, and Sean, Tyler?
Yep, and we had TK do some.
So, I think Dark Forces was the first year. And that was, no, that's 2 years ago. We've been doing it longer than 2 years. Shit, I don't know. It's been some years, dude.
It's been years.
I'm glad you finally got there.
I gotta say, it's been at least 4.
We started doing them in 2016.
Is that when we started doing these?
We did, Summer Star Wars, Super Summer Star Wars, Spectaculars.
Yeah.
Maybe 2017 when we started like branding it as like Super Summer Star Wars, but like, and that's when we like did Shadow of the Empire. We did Rogue Leader, Lego Star Wars. Sean and I did
Shadows
Legos.
the first year.
That was May 4th on my birthday in 2017.
Shadows.
Was the first episode of Shadows came out, so we probably recorded it in April. But yeah.
So it's 5 or 6 years. But one of those.
Yeah. So
I just think I remember saying we did it, that it was the 5th anniversary last year.
Oh.
But
okay.
Because I think I remember that.
Right.
But I could be wrong. Who fucking knows, dude?
I'll have to go back into my playlist and like make the playlist, adjust accordingly to like, because there's 243 Star Wars games in the playlist that I have. So
a long time ago, in a galaxy far away,
the oldest
Naboo was under an attack. And I thought me and Qui-Gon Jinn could stop the Federation.
Talk the
Federation in to maybe cutting them a little slack.
Cutting them a little slack.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Their response, it didn't thrill us. They locked the doors and tried to kill us. We escaped from that gas. Met Jar Jar and Boss Man. We took a bongo from the scene and we went to Theed to see the Queen. We all wound up on Tatooine. That's where we found this boy.